As a man who works in refuse collection, Michael Pearce knows more than most about recycling. But 3 years ago, this eco-friendly surgeon pulled off the most bizarre bit of recycling Michael's ever seen, when he used reclaimed bits of his patient's back to make his freakishly flattened foot function once more. Michael was working as part of a refuse and recycling team, transferring rubbish from people's gardens into a colossal dust cart the size of a bus. That day, torrential rain had coated the streets in water, and as Michael stepped out of the dust cart to collect the next load of rubbish, tragedy struck.
I don't know whether I slipped or what happened.
He lost his footing and stuck his left foot directly in front of the gigantic bin lorry's wheel. As Michael watched in horror, the fully loaded 20-ton dust cart trundled straight over it, exerting the same amount of pressure as 4 fully grown elephants.
1 minute I was getting out of the dust cart, the next minute I just remembered this pain.
The massive twin tyres ground through the top of his boot with such power, they wrenched it clean off and hurled it across the street.
I tried to scream, but nothing had seemed to come out.
Now, the tyres tore into his flesh, chewing and ripping the skin off in a horrible, humongous flap, an injury known as a degloving. At the same time, the lorry pressed down with such vicious force, his fragile foot bones were crushed and snapped like dry crackers.
You can't describe the pain. It was just so excruciating. It was terrible.
Attacked by his own bin lorry, his foot shredded, shattered and bleeding profusely, Michael lay in a haze of agony as shocked colleagues called paramedics and an air ambulance to the scene.
The patient at the time was clearly in a lot of pain.
There were sort of bits of skin and fatty tissue on the road.
Lots of bones appeared to be broken.
Crushing open fractures.
We had part of the skin that had come away.
And there was like a considerable amount of blood. It was a mess.
Paramedics dressed the annihilated foot and choppered Michael to hospital, where shocked surgeons found themselves faced with a bizarre and devastating cocktail of the very worst types of tear and crush injuries.
Skin gets peeled off your skeleton. The weight of the wheel obviously then crushes the bone, blood vessels, muscle, and squashes it, causing a sort of injury to every bit of tissue.